Hear me out. I think the Philadelphia 76ers just created a big experiment in the NBA. But first things first, y'all, it's Vaughn. You already know what it is, man. But the more I'm looking at this roster, the more I realize it's really not just like another super team discussion to me. You feel me? Like I feel like you got LeBron James obviously at 41 years old taking a massive pay cut. I mean, the dude, I think what is he making, bro? He's making about $3,876,529, and then he has a player option for about $4 million the next year. So, to me, that's interesting within itself because you have a player of LeBron's caliber who just took a big pay cut to join another team. A lot of people call it a super team. I'm not necessarily here to tell you if that's right or wrong. I wouldn't say it's a super team because I do think the team is very beatable. But when you look at players that they have, I mean, they obviously have Joel Embiid, who's a very dominant center, and he just has to stay healthy, bro. But like you have someone like that, let's say you meet up with someone like Victor Wembanyama. I mean, that's a big body that you know Joel Embiid can actually compete with. You feel me? Like I think that's a solid matchup if he can stay healthy. That's always the caveat. Like, can bro stay healthy? You know what I mean? But you also got Tyrese Maxey entering his prime. I'm pretty sure that he was a big reason that LeBron even went there. I know he was a big fan of his game, and we already seen what Tyrese Maxey can do. Like the dude is honestly amazing, bro. Like the every year he's just become better and better. And I'm really looking forward to see how he plays off of LeBron. I think those two are actually like a great pairing with the level of shot making that Tyrese Maxey can offer, especially in that starting lineup. They obviously added Jaylen Brown, who has honestly been disrespected, bro. Like, I mean, it's a Finals MVP. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's a Finals MVP, and I don't know what was going on between him and Tatum in Boston or whatever it may be, but I feel like he has a chip on his shoulder, and I do think these four players so far are going to be extra motivated to just prove that they can work. And every single one of them have a question that they can prove. I'm looking at LeBron. He's only getting older. We know that he's a great passer. Can he be a like we know he can be a one or two option. Can he be a third or fourth option some nights? Like I believe that he can. But you have Tyrese Maxey, who I think probably is the guy that is going to be there most consistently. Consistently, he's probably the guy that is getting most of the shots throughout the season. And then you obviously have Joel Embiid, who you just need to stay healthy, and you have Jaylen Brown trying to prove that like he's not, this negative player that the statistics try to prove that he is. You know what I mean? But my question, obviously, is really the players that they're surrounding themselves with. You have VJ Edgecombe. A lot of people, they when LeBron first joined, they're saying it's Tyrese Maxey at point guard. You have VJ Edgecombe at shooting guard. You have Jaylen Brown at small forward, LeBron at power forward, and Joel Embiid at center. And while I think that's a solid lineup on paper, I do like value a little bit more balance, and I value the like role players a lot and size. And I just, I could be tripping. And this is my opinion. If y'all disagree, that's fine. But I feel like Tyrese Maxey at the one, of course, he has to start. LeBron has to start. Joel Embiid has to start. Jaylen Brown has to start. Like I just feel like that's what it is. So to me, I'm looking at VJ Edgecombe. Do I really want to slide everyone down? A position. I know LeBron's only gotten older and he has been playing power forward a lot more lately, but I think they're weak at the four spot, but I do like the addition of Dean Wade. He's not some like flashy player or nothing like that, but I do kind of like the idea of having like Maxey, Jaylen Brown, LeBron, Dean Wade, and Embiid. I just think having a guy that doesn't need that many touches amongst the other four that do need the touches is just really great. And I like the idea of VJ Edgecombe coming off the bench, kind of similar to like Dylan Harper. You know what I mean? Like I could be tripping. Honestly, I could be tripping. I could be undervaluing how well VJ Edgecombe will play his role in that starting lineup. And it's really not about VJ to me specifically. It's just about the skill set that a guy like Dean Wade would bring. He can stretch the floor a little bit, and he's another 6'9", 6'10" guy that can play the power forward spot and just be that low usage guy between these four guys that are gonna need the ball a lot. And that's just the way I'm looking at it. But the quick thing I want, or not the quick thing, but the thing I want to talk about, obviously LeBron joined Philadelphia. He took a lot less money than he needed to. I mean, he's making less than some of the rookies that have come into the league, which is kind of crazy. But, they're also adding Kentavious Caldwell Pope, KCP. You feel me? Which is like crazy. I saw bro dancing on the golf field, I think, when he found out, which is hilarious to me. Bro's like, hey, last time I was with Brian, we won a chip. You feel me? So I'm looking forward to, see how what he can add to that team. The team definitely needs some shooting. I'm sure he'll be a bench shooter to me. I don't see him, necessarily starting over anybody, but I could be wrong in that too. But I'm just wondering, like, everybody's saying like this team's gonna win the championship off rip. A bunch of things that we've witnessed from LeBron's tenure is that his teams do take a little bit of time to gel, and I don't think that the idea is I don't think it's a good idea in the NBA anymore to stack multiple stars on a team. Like right now, you can say there's a lot of mouths to feed on this team. If they try to go out there and add a guy like DeMar DeRozan or whoever it may be, I'm gonna start looking at this team like, all right, bro, like I think that's a little too much. You know what I mean? I think they need to surround these guys with the right role players. They need to get people around them that can help support them, shooting, defense, rebounding. Um, they have center depth. They have Adam Bona. They have Ariel Huckporty. I'm probably murdering these guys' names, but you know who I'm saying. So um, I'm just trying to figure out if everything's gonna fit right, and I think that's on teams not getting too star hungry or trying to chase the name, and instead they should try to chase role players that actually fit. Um, the thing is, LeBron is definitely still one of the smartest players in the NBA. Obviously, he'll always have that. The one thing he'll always have is his mind. He knows how to control the tempo. He knows how to be an elite passer. He has championship experience, obviously, and he's fighting for that fifth or sixth ring. For obviously that's his goal. And you have Embiid, former MVP. He can score anywhere. He changes defense. To me, you know, I know he can stretch the floor a little bit too. That's to me the big like one of my biggest worries about the team. I would say is like his in and out. Obviously, he plays some games and he doesn't play some other games. That could either be a blessing or a curse because like let's say he's out. I have faith in the three of Maxi, Jalen Brown, and LeBron that they'll be able to hold that down. But what happens when you drop Embiid back in there? Like, how consistent can he be in there to gel with this team by the time the playoffs come around? Because it's not something where you can just be like, oh, Embiid can miss a shit ton of games, and all of a sudden he just comes back in the playoffs. Like that doesn't work for real. Like I don't see that work. I think chemistry is very important, and just being able to play with guys a lot like that is just important. You feel me? But it also could be a blessing because then like if they do gel really really quickly, dropping Embiid like that fully healthy in a playoff thing, that should be the most important thing that they do because that changes everything. He just adds another dynamic. LeBron, he's had AD, but he's never played with like a true center like this. A guy that can really, really dominate down low in the post, like just a big, big body like that. Like AD's more of a nimble four, you know what I mean? He never really was like a guy that like playing center down low. AD's very much more of a defensive hub, a guy that likes to move around the court and have that freedom. And Embiid's just that guy that he knows where his spots are and he's gonna be down there, trying to get it. But you got Maxi. This is his prime years. I mean, the dude's one of the fastest guards in the league. Shot creation, he can spot up. He can control the tempo. He can transition offense, everything that he's good at. You know what I mean? You got Jalen Brown, two-way wing. I don't know when LeBron's had a guy like Jalen Brown. He's had Kyrie, D Wade, obviously, but Jalen Brown is just a little bit different than those guys, in my opinion. Not even a little bit. He's a lot different than those guys. So I'm curious to see how they'll play together. He said that shit about Bronny. I guess that shit's water under the bridge. But yeah, I mean that it is what it is. And like I said, they added KCP. He could shoot. He used to be able to defend. He's only getting older, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, like I said, man, it's not really a question of if they're talented to me. It's just like, can they play together? Like, who's gonna sacrifice, man? Like, who's gonna get fewer shots? You feel me? Like, I really do wonder. Like, is it gonna be like one of the first years LeBron averages under 20? Like, I really think there's a strong chance of that just because there's so many mouths to feed. And I do believe in his want to sacrifice. I think him winning a championship just overrides everything because if I think that he wasn't going after the championship. I think he would have just took the, hometown return in Cleveland. Or maybe he just would have stayed in LA where his family was comfortable. But I think the fact that he chose a fourth team that he's never won with at this stage of his career, I think everything about this is he wants to win. And people can say like it's a super team. I'm not the biggest Bron fan, bro. Like I'm a Bulls fan, you feel me? I've said this like every video now. But I just feel like, I respect his game and I respect how much he has done for this game. So um, any dislike that I had towards LeBron is strictly basketball. He used to beat our ass back in the playoffs. You feel me? We put up tough fights, but you know how it go. But I am just curious about a lot of things. Like who's gonna be the closer? I assume it's Tyrese Maxey. Um, is Jalen Brown second or third option? Like how does this hierarchy go? That's really on the coach a lot. Um, Health's the biggest problem to me. It's not the talent. LeBron's 41. Embiid's always hurt. Can they survive 82 games? Can they go into the playoffs healthy? You know what I mean? Should LeBron play 82? Should Embiid play? I don't even like what is Embiid's goal target here for played games? Um, but I do think everybody should slow down a little bit. I think this team is going to need time to gel, and I think that they will figure it out. But I do think it's going to be on the coach to just balance lineups, whether that's the starting lineup or who's staggering who or whatever it may be. But you know, I'm just looking forward to see what happens, man. But in the playoffs, like I said, they can surround these people with a lot of shooting. You can go out there run Maxi, KCP, Jalen Brown, LeBron, Embiid. You can do all that stuff. So it's just really interesting. And I think we have to talk about the fact, like, bro, what if LeBron wins another ring with a fourth team? Like that just goes on the resume. You feel me? Like that's just another thing. Like my friend keep talking. My friend Mauricio, bro, he keep talking about, oh man, add that to the resume. I tell him, I say, bro, I don't know. He always bringing up Michael Jordan. He always got Michael Jordan in his mouth, bro. I'm like, hey, bro, I don't know who you arguing with, bro, because you're not gonna convince me. You feel me? Like who I'm rocking with, bro. It's Michael Jordan, bro. That's just me though. If you don't agree with that, that's fine. I'm not here to argue. I don't even argue that shit no more. Say that shit for the barbershops. I don't care. But that's all I'm saying. But all I want to say is I don't think the 76ers built the best team in basketball. I think they built the most fascinating one. And I think this team could either look like one of like the smartest teams ever, or it'll just be remembered as like another team where like you can't just stack the names. And that's not what I believe will happen. I do think that they will show up because I think like LeBron is just such a smart player. And I think these guys are so driven mentally that I think it'll work out. But that is a question. So either way, like this team's gonna be fun as hell to watch, bro. So I just want to know what y'all think, man. This is a quick little video, man. Do y'all think this experiment is actually gonna end with a championship, bro? I mean, or do you think it's just gonna crash and burn? You know what I mean? Shoot, I'm gonna say my decision this early. I'm gonna say that they are going to be comp, bro, by the end of this season. Like they are going to be probably in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's my guess. I could see them being a finals team. It's hard to beat a team like the Knicks, who just won the championship. They did lose some guys that they really, needed, like Mitchell Robinson. And then if they make the finals, I mean, I believe they might run into a team like the Spurs or the Thunder. I mean, even in the East, they might run into a team like the Pistons. I mean, I think the Pistons, if they keep Jalen Duren, you could technically say that they got better by adding John Collins and adding Isaiah Joe. Like, it's going to be really interesting to see. The East is deep, bro. Like, the East is deep. Like, I would say, like, the West has the top stars, like, the best guys. Like, you got Victor Wembanyama, obviously. You got Shea. I mean, you got Devin Booker, who's not on the greatest team, but you know what I mean? Like, they have like the top heavy stars, but I think the East has like the depth of teams. Like you can look at teams 1 through 8 and you're like, yo, like I can see all of this switching up. You know what I mean? Like you can't even say the Knicks would be the #1 team again. Like I think they'll be top 3, but you can't even say it's just like simple like that. They're going to be super competitive, of course, but like all these teams in the East are going to be competitive. So I'm like really curious. LeBron back in the East, the Sixers building this team. Man, like I'm just really interested. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Y'all let me know. I know a lot of y'all mothers is probably some big LeBron fans, so don't be on here saying that bullshit, bro. Because I ain't trying to hear it, bro. Don't be giving up. Don't be doing that bullshit, bro. Y'all Brown fanatics, bro. Y'all stands, bro. Stay the fuck, bro. Stay out the comments, bro. Please, bro. Y'all got about to have me cussing on the camera, bro.